Today we're going to be going through another Pilates PT session. So I hope you enjoy. You won't need any equipment for this one. It's all going to be body weight based. So we're going to get started in standing. I'm just going to show you side on. Feet are going to be pelvic width apart and we're going to be dropping back into some squats, floating the arms straight back up. So sitting back as if you're sitting into a chair, float the arms up, keep the chest lifted, and then just making sure that the knees don't go forwards of the toes, keeping the shoulders down, and we keep a nice straight back as we sit into it, so you're not arching your back too much, so you're just hinging back from the hips. I always like to think it's as though someone's tied around the hips and they're pulling back, so you hinge from the hips as you sit into these squats, keeping a nice long spine. So we're going to keep this going. And we've got 10 more. Squeezing all the way for the top. Last 5. And last one. Well done. Okay, now we're going to go into some lunges. So from here, you're going to step. Hands can be resting onto hips, and you're just going to step back with one leg, drop down with the knee going towards the floor, and then come straight back up and alternate the sides. So stepping back, dropping down into lunge, stepping back through. So it's a good reach back. You go down to the ball of the foot with the back leg, so you're not aiming to put the heel down. And then you're keeping a nice upright spine position. So thinking of your Pilates principles, I want you to think of keeping those springs attached. So ribs staying to hips here as much as you can, making sure you've got a lovely long spine position, chest is lifted. Feel that projection forwards using your core. We are going to go for one more on each side. And then now we're going to add some pulses in. So from here, stepping back, dropping down, and then now we're just going to pulse at the bottom. So nice little squeezes, keep it a short range, keeping it at that range position. Squeeze through the back of your front leg, and then a little bit through the front of your back leg, so that you're scissoring your legs together here with this one. 3 more pulses and relax, changing over legs. So stepping back into your lunge, dropping down, hold up there, little tiny pulses up and down, squeezing the back of this front leg, front of your back leg, so if you're scissoring them together. Tiny ranges, little tiny pulse up and down. We've still got the chest lifted, abs are pulled in, and last 2, and relax through from that one. Now we're going to go into some reaches back. So similar to the lunge, we are going to float the arms forward, stretch the toe back, and then come all the way back in, change legs. So reaching back, but we're not putting any weight into our back leg now with this one. You're going to see how far back you can go. And at the same time as reaching back, you're reaching forwards and up through the fingertips to make that nice long line through the body. Making this next two, your last two, and then relaxing through from there. We're now going to take this into some wide squats. So you're going to step out nice and wide, toes pointing outwards, open through the hips, squeezing the bottom muscles, open the chest, and then just sitting the heels straight down and then coming back up. Now as you come back up, I want you to push the heels into the floor. Squeeze the inner thighs together, so you're really going to focus like you've got a magnet between your heels and you're pulling together as much as you can. And then just making sure that you drop straight down, keeping a nice straight spine. Knees go out over toes and not forwards. We are going to take it for another 12. Last 6. And then last 1. And back through. Now we're going to take it through footwork series in the second position. So we're going to go down, lift the heels up, press straight through the legs, then lower the heels. So down into wide squat, lift up higher the heels, straighten and lower the heels. And then back through that whole movement. We're going to keep that going. We're going to go for 10 in this direction, and then we're going to change it up into 10 in the opposite direction. Last 2 here. And then when you're ready for this one, we'll reverse it. So we'll go up to tiptoes, bend into the knees, lower the heels, and then push back up. So up to tiptoes first. It's a much harder position to do your footwork series in. A little bit more challenging on the balance. And also to lift your heels up when you're in a wide stance anyway is also quite challenging. And you should feel in this reverse direction that you can start to feel your inner thighs and your bottom muscles really having to work here. Keep the chest nice and lifted. I've lost count, so we'll go for 3 more. Last 2. And last 1. And well done from there. Okay, now I'm going to take you through some bowlers, and then we're going to advance it on into some single leg Romanians. So from here with your bowlers exercise, I'll show you side on again. You'll get your balance onto one leg. You're going to dip down into your knee, keeping the knee over the second toe. Then tip forwards from the pelvis, as if you've got a head like these and the hips tipping down, but keep a nice straight spine at this point. Then from there, you're going to reach back through the free leg, and the free arm is going to reach. Then we squeeze back up in one go. This is a wobbly one, so if you want to do it on a hard surface rather than a mat, you're more than welcome to. So squeezing away and then squeeze all the way back up. Squeezing a lot through that standing bottom to bring you up to a tall standing position in between. So make sure you do return the whole way up, because the tendency with this one is to come about 3/4 of the way up and then go straight back down again. So lifting tall, holding your balance, going down into the knee, tip forward from the pelvis, keep a straight spine. I'm lifting my abs, I'm lifting my chest as I reach, and then squeeze back through. Another thing to watch for is that you don't start to straighten your knee as you tip forward from the hip. So keep the knee bend here, and then reaching and stretching, and then squeezing all the way back through. Let's go for 2 more. Last one. and then relax and change legs. So when you're ready, reset into your standing posture on the other leg. Dip down into the knee, tip forwards from the hips, reach and stretch, and then squeeze all the way back up nice and tall. Lifting my abs, lifting my chest. You're looking at your knee alignment, so as you bend your knee and you keep it bent, it stays out over the second toe. Lots of stretch in that free leg and arm, so utilising your posture muscles in your back to lift the arm and your bottom in that free leg to get the lift. Last two here on this leg. And long reach for this last one, and then coming all the way back up into standing. Okay, next I'm going to challenge you with your single leg Romanians. This is very similar to the last one, but we're going to be on straight legs. It does challenge your balance a little bit more. It works the muscles eccentrically, which means you're putting them under tension while they're in a lengthened position, which is really good for injury prevention, really good for increasing your flexibility, but you will feel it afterwards, I'm sure. So back onto the other leg into standing. We're going to straighten our free leg. Both legs are going to be locked and straight. And then from here, you've got two options with the arms. One is where the arms are back and they stay in line with the free foot. Or the opposite one is where they're forwards. I'm going to go for this one, it's a little bit more challenging. So from here, you're going to tip forwards to make a T shape with your body. Keep your back nice and straight. You're as high as you can lift the back leg, you should be going as low with the body, so they should all be moving together. And then very, very slowly, we squeeze all the way back up into our standing position. So again, tipping through the hips, only tipping through the hips, balancing on that standing foot, squeeze up using your bottom with the free leg, and then very, very, very slowly, squeezing back up, making sure again, the body comes up just as quick as the leg drops at the same time, so everything moves together. So, rotating forwards over the pelvis. Imagine you've got car headlight beam on the hips. Tipping the beam down. Then squeeze back up, we're staying on the same leg. Squeezing all the way through. You should be feeling this into the top of the hamstring and the bottom. And then we tip forwards again, trying to go as far as you can until you feel a stretch in that standing leg. Last one here. And well done, a nice little challenge, you can release that one. We're going to change over to your opposite leg now. So, nice and tall, nice and lifted. Straighten the back leg, straighten both legs, they're locked. Arm position can be up or it can be down. We're going to tip forwards. This is a wobbly one as well, so be aware that it works a lot of stability and balance. And then squeeze slowly all the way back through. Keep lifted through the chest. Go as far as you can until you feel that stretch down a standing leg. Keep the back nice and strong, so we don't round with our back as we go down. You just send your hips back and point them down to the floor. We're going to go for two more. Take your time. And then make this next one your last one. Get lots of reach through the free arms and the leg. And then squeezing all the way back. And then relaxing through from there, well done. Now we're going to take it into a roll down out to a plank position next. So coming to the back end of your mat. Toes pointing forwards, hip distance apart. Roll the shoulders back and round. And then from here, bring your chin to your chest. And we'll slowly curl all the way down into our roll down position. When you get to the bottom, go nice and heavy, go for a few pendulum swings. Nice and easy. Get a bit of stretch after the last exercise. And then when you're ready, bring your hands to the floor. You're going to walk it straight out in front of you. Going to go into full plank position. So I want you to lift the chest up as high as you can. Lift the abdominals and hollow. And then from here, we're slowly going to bend one knee in underneath us, and then stretch it back and then change over. So pulling in for a leg pull. So pulling in, stretching back. Now, what I want you to now do is add the leg lift in. So we pull the leg in, stretch it back and kick it up, and then change. The knee comes in, stretch back, kick up, change. Make sure you stay strong through the upper back, strong through the abdominals, so you don't start to drop your hips. You keep the tailbone tucked under. Got one more on each leg. If any of these plank exercises get too much for your wrists, you can choose to make a fist position, or you can go into elbows, whichever you prefer. Just drop back into a child's pose. Take a moment to rest through the upper body. And then coming back forwards. Now from here, we're going to take it into a plank on our elbows, and we're going to add a little bit of thread the needle now. So you come down onto your elbows first, stretch back into your full plank. I think the normal principles in Pilates, so we've got a lovely shoulder girdle position. We're making sure we've got a long neck, we've tucked the chin slightly, and we've tucked the tailbone under and got our abs engaged. So you shouldn't feel this in your back, you're holding your position. We are then going to rotate to one side, lift the hips up. From here, like I thread the needle, we're going to take this top arm through, glide it through, and I want you to almost try and get your elbows to meet. And then come back through, and then open wide to the ceiling as far as you comfortably can. If you have any shoulder problems, just don't over rotate too much. And again, going through, trying to get the elbows to meet. And then open into a nice big stretch up. We have got two more. Last one. We're going to open all the way up and then reset into your plank. So come back through to centre, hold the plank here. Think about your posture. Then when you're ready, rotate through to the side. From here, you're going to lift those hips up. We're going to open to the ceiling. And then now, rotating through, trying to get your elbows to meet. And then coming all the way and opening up as far as you can. Keeping the hips up the whole time. We are now halfway through. 5 more. Last 2. Last 1. And well done. You can then push back into a nice cow pose from there. So stretching back, dropping the chest down. Relax your arms as much as you want here. And then slowly coming all the way up. In your own time, roll the shoulders back and round. Right, I'm going to take you into seated position next, and we'll start with some roll downs. So having your head cushion behind you, sat on your mat. Okay, so growing nice and tall. Shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted. We're going to float our arms up, shoulders are back, and then we're going to tuck the tailbone, and we're going to roll back to our lower back. Then we're going to curl forward, lift nice and tall, and then repeat. So we're doing roll downs almost all the way. We're going to the hard bit. We're going to get your lower back down. I want as much movement in your lower back as you can. Really open and round it here. Get a lovely little curl. Lifting tall at the top. So you're hollowing your abs. You're pulling your belly button into your spine. You're squeezing the bottom, tucking under through the tailbone. If you do need help with this, if you've got a stiff lower back, do hold on to the back of your legs. And then last one, rolling all the way back to your mat. So, head onto your head cushion. You're going to make sure you've got a neutral position through the pelvis, hands behind the head. Let's curl up with abdo flex just to prepare. So, breathing out to curl up, inhale to lower. I want you to really go at the pace of your breath as you do this one. Check you've got a nice relaxed neck, so the head just goes along to the right. You've got your shoulders pulling down, so you're pulling your shoulder blades towards your back to knees pockets, and then you keep a nice strong frame through your arms for your head to relax into. The pelvis won't stay nice and still, so you keep a little check on your knees. If your knees are moving at all, then you know your pelvis is moving. Breathing out to come up, inhale to lower. Let's go for 5 more. And then relax back down. Now from here, I'm going to take you up to crisscross. So we'll flatten the back, bring the legs up one by one into your double tabletop. Then from there, come up into your curl up, that's your start position. Breathing out and twisting, and then inhale, bring it back to center. Stretch the opposite leg away. So we're twisting toward our stationary knee. Inhale back in. Exhale, twist. Inhale back to center. See if we can even do this one with a smile. Enjoy the burn. Keep the neck nice and relaxed. Get the ribs to do the rotation. Last one. Then relax, bring the knees into your chest. Give them a little hug, and then from there we're going to go into double leg stretch, but with the crunch as well. So knees can stay in chest, and then when you're ready, as soon as you crunch up like an abdo prep, we're going to stretch both legs away, breathing out. Inhale, fold them back in. Exhale, stretch away. Inhale, back in. Now I want to see how low you can take your legs without your back lifting and arching. So you're flattening your back into your mat. You're going to stretch the back of the legs, squeezing the hamstrings, the bottom muscles, the inner thighs together. So I want to feel the legs getting a good push away as we scoop down into our belly button and curl up at the same time. 5 more. Last one. And then relax. Bring the knees into the chest. Give them a little hug. And then now from here, we're going to go up into 100. So zip the legs together into a double tabletop. You're going to curl up through the body, press the shoulder blade down. Then when you're ready, little slaps onto water, as though you're just beating your hands onto water. And then stretching the legs away for that double leg stretch. So keeping a curl up. Breathe in for 5. And exhale for 5. Keep the breath going. Keep scooping up through the upper body, scooping down through the belly button. Last breath in and out. And then rest. Well done from there. It's a really good series of abdominal exercises. So we are going to roll onto our side next. We're going to continue through some oblique work now. So your lower hand is going to be reached out in front of you, and then top hand can go behind the head. From here, we're going to go up through jackknives. So you're going to lift your legs up first of all, and then lower them just to get ready for the movement. And then the other part of the movement is to lift the upper body up. And I push up and I push onto my elbow as I do this one. So when you're ready, everything's going to go up together. So you're going to lift up and then lower back down. We've got 4 more. Last one up, and we're going to hold, and we're going to do little pulses. And then rest through from there. Well done. Now staying on the side, we're going to then work a little bit through our glutes. So I'm going to take you into some clams next. So into side line, send the top hip away, so you've got a little mat underneath, shoulders stacked, bottom shoulders underneath the top shoulder. After we're going to pull in, hips are down, we've got our springs pulled in. And then when you're ready, do your clam. So squeezing out and away, and then bringing it back in. Squeeze the bottom to get this turn out here as you do this. So make sure the leg stays really heavy and relaxed, getting a good clench of the glutes as you turn out. We have got 4 more. Last 2. After this next one, we'll move up to clam level 2. So lifting both your heels up, continue from there. Squeezing out, we've still got our mouse house. Nothing's changing there. Squeezing out. If you want to make it harder, roll your whole body forward. You'll feel it a little bit more into the glutes. Just challenge yourself a little bit, that one. Always make sure you're staying hollowed as well. So as you push the knee up, you're trying to pull the pubic bone up to the navel as much as possible. Last 3. And then after this next one, we go into clam level 3. Drop the bottom foot, foot's nice and still on an imaginary step, and then we go from there. So you lower the knee to hip height, and then we turn it back out. You should really be feeling this into your bottom muscles now. You should be targeting them. And then last one. And then give it a little pat and a rub, and then we're going to change to the opposite side. So swiveling yourself around, we've got your jackknives to start off with. So from here, you remember with your jackknife, I'm just going to clip that around the front. Your hand stays down in front of you, straight legs. Top hand is behind your head. The first part you lift your legs up. The second part is where we lift the body up and then we add it all together. So when you're ready, crunching up. Hold it, and then now we're going to pull. And then from there, relax. We're going into your clams next. So you bend the knees up a little bit. Make sure you're in alignment. Top hand now comes out, reaching underneath you. Shoulders stacked, hips are stacked. We've got our mouse house and our springs are in. Then when you're ready from there, clam level 1. So you're turning out with the knee as much as you can. When you get to the top of the movement, pull the pubic bone to the navel, tighten the abdominals. If you want more challenge, you roll your whole body forwards a little bit more. That'll really target the glutes. And then making sure shoulders and neck stay relaxed, and you're isolating the squeeze to your bottom muscles, not tightening the rest of the thigh. So keeping the thigh nice and relaxed here. We've got 5 more. And then after this next one, we're then going to lift the heels up, and then after you go from there, clam level 2. Squeezing out, keeping the length in the waist, abdominals drawn in, squeezing the glutes, really isolating it. The heavier the leg, the better. Last 2, and then after the second one here, we're then going to drop the bottom leg, foot stays still on an imaginary step, and then we turn out from there. So you should really be feeling the burn now. Make sure those hips stay stacked and you don't roll backwards. Should be a nice heavy leg. Let's go for 5 more. If you're feeling the burn, smile. Last one. And then give it a pat and a rub. Well done. Okay, we're going to roll to our tummy next and do some frog kicks. So working a little bit more onto our glutes again. So coming down now, resting your forehead into your hands. You're then from there going to take your feet out as wide as the mat. Then fold your heels together. You're then from here going to flex your feet, push your heels together, squeeze your bottom muscles. Now push your pubic bone down and hollow the abdominals, and then from there it's little kicks up. So we're pushing our heels up to the ceiling, trying to lift the knees off the mat. You're going to tighten your tummy muscles to make sure that you don't strain your back or use your back to do the lift. Should be all in the bottom and into the back of the legs. So kicking up, keeping the knees bent, pushing up to the ceiling. Keep squeezing those heels together. And last one. And then rest through from there. We're now going to take it into a little bit of upper body work, and we'll start with our dart next. So forehead down into your head cushion, hands then down by your waist, palms facing in, arms just lifted. We're going to stretch the legs away, we're going to pull up through the tummy, and then when you're ready, you're going to slide your hands down towards your feet, lifting your chest away from the floor. The neck stays long, you're still looking down. So the head pretty much goes along for the ride with this exercise. It's just that slide down of the hands, so you're sliding your shoulder blades down to your back jeans pockets and opening the upper back off the floor. We're keeping the abs lifted so you don't drop into your lower back. So you should be feeling this in the upper back of the shoulder blades, in between the shoulder blades. And make this next one your last one. There, reach the arms forwards. Now we're going to go into swimming. So you float the legs up, we float the arms off and the forehead. Then when you're ready from here, little patters, opposite arm and leg. We're now going to do a bit like doggy paddle swimming. What you've got to watch for as you're doing this is that your hips don't keep centered. So you've got to pull in as tummy muscles. You shouldn't feel this in the lower back straining. If you do, tighten the abs or lower down and just do arms or legs. Keep yourself centered. The more you tighten the abs, the more centered you'll be as you do this. And then rest. Through from there, well done. Push back into a chest pose. And then coming up, and we're going to go into a pigeon fold next, so you can enjoy the next bit now. So walking the knee forwards, take the foot across your body, slide the back leg back, and then drop the chest down, and just relax. And then coming back through, changing over to the other leg. So, sliding the knee up, turn the foot out, slide the leg back, drop down into a nice pigeon fold. And then coming all the way back up into hands and knees. Okay, so from your hands and knees position, we're just going to round up into a nice cat stretch. Hold this angry cat position here, so really tucking tailbone. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the abdominals up, push away from the floor. And then release, roll to a happy cat. Open the upper back, allow the belly button just to relax the floor, but think about lift through the chest. Pull the shoulders away from the ears and lengthen through the back of the neck whilst keeping the head up. And again, just holding this stretch here. And then coming back through to centre. Now I'm going to get you to walk your hands out to a 10 o'clock position. And then just drop the heels, the hips back to the heels into a nice side stretch here. And then coming all the way back through. Walking it across to the other side, sitting back into the stretch, get a nice waist stretch. And then coming all the way back through. We're going to push up into a kneeling position next. So one foot coming in front of you. From there, tuck the tailbone under, push the hips forwards, lean into a nice stretch here. And then you're going to bring your hands down either side of your foot, tuck the back toe under, lift up and straighten out into a nice stretch of your hamstring and your calf. So lean forward with your body as much as you can over that front leg. Push the back heel down. And then release and come back up to your high kneeling position, and now we'll swap over with our legs. So just changing through, tuck the tailbone under, push the hips forwards, hold a stretch. And then leaning through, hand either side of that bottom leg, tuck the toe under, and then lift up with the hips, straighten both legs. Drop with the chest over that front leg, get that nice hamstring stretch, then push the back heel down. And then when you're ready with the back leg, you're just going to step it straight forwards to meet you. You're going to go into your roll up next. And then slowly curling all the way back up, coming all the way to a tall standing position. And then when you're ready, just roll the shoulders back and round, and then relax. Well done.